All right, guys, I'm going to try and do this last one in all in one take so I don't have to do any editing on it. I know I say way too much. I can hear it. Bothers me, so it must bother everybody else. Uh, so, last topic that I want to talk about today was affordable housing in Boulder City. I've had a couple people talk to me about, what about affordable housing and what is the city going to do about affordable housing in Boulder City? Well, I'll tell you my opinion, best thing that they can do to create affordable housing is get rid of the historic district. The most affordable housing in this town is going to be between Avenue A or any of the houses on the avenues, California, any of those areas. And, they're the oldest temporary houses. You can't build a new house that's going to be any cheaper than those old houses. It's not going to happen. We don't have any lots that are zoned. We don't have smaller. We don't have smaller square footage. A lot of those houses are small square footage. And those are the houses that are going to be the most affordable. The other thing that we have in town that was how my family did it was we bought a trailer. Some of the trailer parks here in town and started there. Out off of Red Mountain Drive, there's trailers there. There's, half the trailer parks in town are 55 and older, or, whatever the restrictions are. And then the other half, you can actually own the trailer and the property. And the problem is those are being bought up because they're hard to finance. B, they're a tax break because most of them aren't real property, so they're only paying taxes on the land. They're not paying taxes on the home unless you convert them over. So people like that, especially retirement age, they really like those trailer parks. I think that's why they're such a big group of the 55 and older group. Cuts back on their property taxes. But that being said, there's no new product that is going to come out, no creation that's going to be any cheaper than those houses. And the historic district just creates confusion and unnecessary burden. Even though it may seem like it's no burden at all, it's just something that shies people away from that area. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with their neighbors who feel like they might be pressured into, conforming when they don't want to conform. It's just an unnecessary burden. The other problem that I have with the historic district is the same thing that they're trying to do with the hotels downtown. Hey, do we love it and try and support our downtown hotels? They're great, keep them around as long as possible. But we didn't have a historic downtown flower shop, How great would that have been? We have create a downtown historic district for flower shops. Then they can create or find federal funding and, they could stay in business longer than they needed to and than they should, and just soak up federal money to stay somewhere that is not necessary. That's all that these historic districts are doing right now in Boulder City. They're being created so that the owners now can go find federal funding, and then it just keeps them in business longer than than they should be when the market is telling them, hey, something else needs to go in there. Hey, we could have had a historic gas station. That's what we should have had. Historic downtown gas stations. We could have still had those two gas stations down there instead of Beer Zombies and the Brew Pub. We always need more gas stations, don't we? And they're historic. So let's keep them around. Let's not modernize the area. Let's not give other people a chance with business ideas that they have. Let's keep these historic hotels around by providing a way for them to get more federal funding and grants. It's not necessary. If it's a business that works and people support them, they'll be around. They've lasted as long as they have, those hotels. They've gone through different owners. They get revamped, But if somebody comes along and decides that they want to change it to something else, allow them to do that. They don't need to be federally held up or artificially held up by federal funding or any other historical funding. Or if that's the case, then we could just start creating, historical districts for. Hey, I'd love to see some historical cul-de-sacs money because sometimes I could use some federal help or grants, to help pay for a new roof on my house would be nice. And some of those come with restrictions and deed restrictions. Once you take federal money, then that building always has to be the way that it is. Anyway, there's get rid of the historic district and stop wasting everybody's time with that. There's not enough people who are willing to conform to make it worth it, and it's just a big waste of time. Make those houses more affordable and easier for first-time buyers and new buyers to get in there and feel like they can just be a homeowner. No associations, no law, no extra set of hoops to jump through, and we'll find more people will start buying those.